watch him with his new wife and his new life just flourish without me. He's doing so well. You know, he's doing great in his business. He's doing great in school. He's just amazing. He's a great guy. And I get to watch that from the back room. And it's hard. Sometimes it stings. Sometimes it still stings. But, you know, I'm happy for him. And, you know, I love him as my family. And I want nothing but the best for him. So now I relocated to a different state, me and my daughter, and 2 years ago, and I just started over. I'm dating, and it's different. It's difficult. You know, I got married.
It's trash.
It's trash. Okay, it's trash. I said it's difficult. It's really trash. Yeah, it's definitely trash.
The streets.
it's trash. They say the dating pool has pee in it. I say it's straight sewage.
It's not even a pool.
It's sewage. Seriously.
Oh my God.
I hate it for everybody that has to be out here dating. I don't recommend it. 0 stars, not even a half.
Seeing your ex move on is one of the most painful things. I think the reason it hurts so much is because it feels like proof that what you had didn't mean anything. Like, how can they just stop loving you and start loving someone else? Like, was what you had even real? But I am here to remind you that what you two had cannot be recreated. Ever. Not with this new person. Not with anyone, because what you had was a completely unique dynamic that only existed between 2 very specific people at a very specific time in their lives. That cannot be replicated and it cannot be replaced. It just becomes part of who they are now. And you will always be part of their story, not as someone they got over, but as someone who shaped what they have become. Someone who shaped them in ways that they probably can never fully articulate. They didn't replace you. They moved forward, like all of us do one day. But who you were to each other, that version of you and that version of them in that specific time can never exist again.
I only still have love for one of my exes, and I always will wish that girl the best when she move on, if she move on. I don't want to say it's gonna hurt, cause like we've been on and off for a little minute, but like at the same time, like damn, it do hurt to see somebody move on and treat the next girl better. It do hurt. I'm not even gonna lie, sit here and act like it don't hurt, because it do hurt. And it's like, it's nothing you can do about it. People change for who they want to change for. You can't necessarily be like, oh, she gonna dog you out the same way she did me. No, she won't. People change for who the fuck they want to change for. And it's sad and it's sick that they doing all of this for the new girl. They changing their ways for the new girl. They doing everything that you wanted. And you gotta sit there and watch the shit. Like, that shit is really... That should be fucking with me. Cause like, what?
Appreciate y'all, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Yeah, never let your ex see you happy. You know, I think women are very jealous. And what's so funny, man, I had this video on my mind talking about actually doing this video, and I opened up Instagram and I put the post on the screen, and a woman was saying, yeah, my ex-boyfriend was terrible to me, and I think it's he's getting married now, and it's so unfair that he's getting married, and it took me 6 years to get over him. And we tell women this all the time. There's so many women that's willing to, that a guy can rebound with. Not every guy can't just go get a woman, but if a guy was in a relationship with you, you know what I'm saying? Or he has the ability, just the average ability to get women, more times than not, he's seen everything he didn't want in you. And he knew exactly what he wanted in the next girl and what he didn't want. And it made it easier for you. I think they call it a starter wife. But a lot of women say, well, this guy was so terrible to me. How many times we've seen, and I've heard women say this to me in real person. Well, you know, he's a good father, but he doesn't treat me right. Women don't even know how to want to be treated right, because there's men that treat you right and then y'all shit on them, or he's too nice, or he doesn't give me that spark. So we already know her saying that he was a terrible person. She probably was terrible. You know, women don't understand your behavior is going to dictate how that relationship go. It's a way to communicate with your significant other. It's a way to ask them to do stuff. And a lot of times if y'all ask nicely and sweetly and don't have an attitude, it's not, you probably was a terrible person, because How is he so terrible and he's able to get married? She was able to get him to commit. Obviously, you said it took you 6 years to get over him and you still ain't over him. So I'm assuming y'all was together for quite some time. So what happened? You were terrible. So you couldn't get another guy to even probably commit to you. You're terrible. Women need to be honest with themselves. Y'all can lie on the internet. Y'all can lie to y'all little homegirls groups. But let's keep it real. Y'all are the problem. Nobody is willing to sign up for somebody that don't want to do nothing. There was a particular video that I seen on Average Men Unplugged, and it was a woman. She told me her boyfriend cheated on her, but the girlfriend was like, she kind of agreed with it because the dog be pissing and shitting on the floor. She don't clean it up. The house be junky and funky. And she a stay-at-home girlfriend. He pay all the bills. And like women just think, lazy. Don't want to cook, don't want to clean. Most women you made on Housewives, they will fail with flying colors. They had to get F across the board. Cooking, cleaning, paying bills, being trustworthy, being loyal. You know what I'm saying? The kids' grammar, they ain't up to date in school. They don't go to the parent-teacher conference. They don't do anything. Stay fit, go to the gym. They don't shit be missing. They don't be cooking. The groceries list is trash. They fail with flying colors. A lot of these women think they good women and they're not. That's the problem with it. The proof's in the pudding. He must have been a good guy or a good enough guy because he got another woman. And what she want to do, she want to go in there and fuck his motion up. Well, he did this to me. And because he was bad to me, he doesn't deserve to be happy. Women be killing me with this deserve shit. For one, you can't say what you do or don't deserve because most of y'all not honest with each other. Y'all not honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You won't cook. You ain't clean. You stop keeping yourself up. You became a lazy bum. He working hard. You laying in the house funky, the house nasty. Come on. You want to pick an argument. You want to manipulate. You don't want to self-improve. You can't be a riser as a man and a woman be down and not rising with you, dog. And a man gonna try to pick his girl up. A man gonna try to get you up there. But in general, when these women see you happy that you used to be with, they want to sabotage you because they sabotage their own happiness. They sabotage their own homegirl happiness. That's a fact. Women are known they sabotage themselves. You ever been talking to a girl and everything going good and you seem like, and then all of a sudden they start an issue, they start an argument, or they pull back? Women sabotage themselves. Women don't really want relationship. Women want the ability to be able to get a relationship. Remember I did the video saying, do you have to have sex with a girl when you meet her, or is it enough knowing that you can smash? And for me, just as I got older, it was enough knowing I could smash. I've always been like, if I know I can smash, I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush to sleep with a girl. If I know I can smash, I'm more of a want to form a connection with somebody. I'm not sexually driven, never have been. It comes times where your testosterone peak or you horny and stuff like that. And it takes a lot of conquering, and a lot of discipline to conquer those sexual loins. And we gonna struggle with those as long as you a healthy heterosexual man or woman. You're gonna struggle with that. That's facts. But in my humble opinion, bro, they see you happy and either A, they want to come back in your life and they want to sleep with you and mess up the motion that you got going on in your relationship. B, they want to accuse you of something, to say you did something so the next girl don't want you. But guess what? If you completely moved on from a particular person, you ain't, you don't care what they doing. You too busy living your life. And that's one thing with women. They're more prone to form a permanent attachment. They're more attached because of how they are. They are holders. They're catchers. They'll get attached to you. And they got to understand, the older you are, it's going to be harder for a guy to take you serious. Women think they can get relationships at will. They confuse being able to get penises to the face to get in relationships. You know what I'm saying? But then, that's why you have Remy Ma out here talking about what makes her the perfect girl, because she washed. Women in their prime don't talk about what I am the table. That's how they speak. They don't talk about what they bring to the table. Either the healthy ones, they show what they bring to the table, or the one, or they don't feel like they got to tell you nothing. The toxic ones, I am the table. That's what it is. But in general, When a woman see you happy, that's why a lot of men can't see their children. They get alienated because a woman, they don't want to admit that I was the problem. I should have been a better woman. You know, and everybody be like, we the men, what you do when a relationship break up? It was your fault. And the man just keep it moving. He keep it moving. He moves on. He somehow God put him in position to be with the woman. He know everything he do want from a woman, everything from the last relationship. He know what he don't want. He find the right woman. He get in a relationship. He build a family. And guess what? She don't feel like she was the problem. She not being objective on her last relationship. She feel like she was perfect. And every guy that come in, oh, your last boyfriend did this, that, and the third, and this, that, and the third, woo, 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 and this, that, you know. And, you know, you start dating her and a lot of dudes can just see the signs right away. Oh, she just for the stroke. She just for the stroke. Hit it and quit it. And it's starting to like a lot of women like to be on the cock carousel. They don't want relationships. But guess what? They don't want you to be happy neither. I'm so hurt that you moved on. Like when a guy's done with a woman, he done. When he pick his dick up and go home and he ain't sleeping with you no more, it's a wrap. Even a lot of times when a guy still sleep with his ex, it's convenient. There's no connection there. A lot of women don't really understand that. It's a wrap. Once a guy get back out there and start dating and seeing how the dating scene is with a bunch of buster ass niggas and all you got to be is a half decent dude and you get motion. And even if you get motion as a half decent dude, guess what? You get a passport. It's a wrap. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon.
Question for my divorce girlies, especially if you were the one that asked for the divorce. How are you feeling once your man moves on, or has he moved on? You don't care to know. Do you know? Do you want to know? I'm not sure if people talk about this in the divorce world. It is definitely worth discussing. I know that a lot of people definitely don't feel the way that I did, but some of you probably do. For me, it was like such a relief. I felt like a huge, enormous weight lifted off of my shoulders once I heard of him moving on. Mostly because our families or my family was like super interconnected, and so I knew like immediately whenever he was moving on. I can't explain like the peace that I felt, not because I'm a good person, but because he's such a good person and he deserves that. I truly wanted him to be happy, and I felt responsible for his happiness or lack of happiness for so long. Like, I felt so good knowing that he had found someone. I also don't know if that's because I'm like older and a little bit more mature. You know, had he like immediately moved on, I don't know if I would feel that way. I feel like in such a good place knowing that he is moved on and happy. And I'm curious if that is normal, if other people feel that way, or are you like, I couldn't care less, I don't want you to be happy? Because I know that typically like most divorces are not quite as amicable as mine was. But I'm curious of like your experience. And I'm just gonna say that when you kind of like look at, like, I truly feel like I'm with the person that I'm supposed to be with, but then you start looking at like someone like your ex-husband who like you obviously know very intimately. And for me, like the best way that I can explain it is like he needed someone who's like a homegrown woman, like knows how to cook things in the kitchen from scratch. Like, I'm a store-bought girly. Like, if you want a peach cobbler, we're gonna go to the store and get it, because I am not going to ever learn how to make it from scratch. I don't want to. I don't have any desire to cook. And I feel like that is like such a silly way to sum it up, but like he needed a homegrown girly. I wasn't it. I'm a store-bought girly, like literally not even just food, like the Botox, the lips, the boobs, I'm gonna buy them at the store. I'm curious, like for everyone else, like what is your experience been like if you have gone through that? If you haven't gone through it yet, like how do you feel you're going to hold up during that process? And like, do you want to know? Do you not want to know? Obviously, if you like share kids with someone, it's a little bit different. But if you don't share kids with someone and you don't share fur babies, how do you want to handle that? I'm curious.
I hate when women are mad that their baby daddies move on, because my cousin going to call me today and was like, hey, check your Facebook. And I checked it. I was like, what am I looking for? She was like, go to Trey's Facebook. I was like, oh yeah. So I go to his Facebook and I was like, what am I looking for? She was like, oh, scroll down to 2 weeks ago. And I scrolled down. She was like, you see that girl? I was like, oh yeah, I seen it 2 weeks ago. She was like, why you ain't tell me Trey had a girlfriend? I was like, oh, I just figured you knew. She was like, no, he just told me today and was like, yeah, I got somebody I want our daughter to meet. So next weekend when she comes, she's going to be meeting her. And I was just like, okay, like, why is that a big deal? She was like, because he being sneaky about it. I was like, I mean, not really, because y'all have haven't been together for 4 years. And she was like, okay. And I was like, didn't you expect him to move on? She was just like, yeah, but he's being sneaky because they've been together for a while. I was like, well, maybe he was filling her out before he introduced her to the daughter. Like, that makes sense to me. And she was just like, no, I don't like that. He's just being super sneaky. I was like, well, doesn't he get his daughter every weekend? And she was just like, yeah. And I was like, and doesn't he pay his part and his half of everything she does? She was like, yeah. I was like, you know what you should do to get him back? She was just like, what? I said, you should take him to child support and you put him in the rears and also get custody of your daughter. And she was like, you know what? You're right. I was like, yeah, I'm right. And she was just like, yeah. I was like, yeah, because you sounded real pressed. You must want your nigga back. And she was like, no, I don't want him back. I was like, oh, okay, well, just do this. It'll make him mad. And she was like, okay, well, how much money do you think I'm going to get if I put him in the rears since she's 10 years old now? Like, how much did you get when you did this to your baby daddy? I was like, girl, I ain't never did that to my baby daddy. Upper Marlboro Courts didn't get me pregnant. My baby daddy did. So why would I take him to court? And she was like, well, why are you telling me to do this? I said, well, you're sounding real pressed and mad. Why don't you just make the whole world mad and do that? So she hung up right in my face. And I'm just like, I don't know why you're mad at me saying this because of the fact that, why the hell did you call my phone about your baby daddy moving on and y'all haven't been together for 4 years? Let that nigga move on, girl. Fuck wrong with you. You bitches is weird. Yeah. You bitches is weird.